Welcome to my channel. If we haven't met before, I'm Kari Greger.
How you doing?
I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm making plant-based French chocolate silk pie. Yum. Let's get into it. I'm starting off with a pie crust. You can use a store-bought vegan pie crust, already baked. I've got 1 1/8 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of sugar. The salt and sugar are optional. Mix the dry ingredients together. I'm using coconut oil. I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup total, and it's chilled. You want it cold. So I have to use the pastry blender to mix it in, a little bit at a time until you've got the crumbles look to it. Now I'm making a well in the center of the flour and coconut oil mixture, and to this I'm going to add a little bit of water. You want to be using 2 or 3 tablespoons to 4 tablespoons of water. I think I used a little bit too much in this. Oh, also add in your tablespoon of vinegar. So mix the wet ingredients in with the fork and then until it gets mushy, and then you can get in there with your hands. The important thing is not to blend it too much. And I think it's been a while since I've made this pie crust, so I think I blended it a little bit too much. But to get it manageable, move it around, blend in all of the little bits, shape your pastry dough into a lump, and then wrap it in saran wrap or put it in the bowl and cover it with a plastic, something to cover it up, and put it in the refrigerator and chill it. It should chill for a good 30 minutes.
Okay, let's chill. Let's just chill.
I'm not gonna chill. You gonna chill.
Take 1 1/2 cups of raw cashews, put them into a saucepan, cover them with water, and boil them on the stove for 10 minutes. So bring them to a boil and then boil them for 10 minutes. Drain and rinse them. 2 cups of water, add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and mix that up. We're going to take this to the stove and cook it. After we've cooked it, stirring it constantly on the stove, it thickens up like a pudding, and you can see it's very nicely thickened and it almost looks translucent. Let it cool off and then pour it into something you can put into the refrigerator and chill it for an hour or 2 until it is chilled right through.
Chill. Why don't chill?
While that's chilling, let's finish our pie crust. Take the cold pie crust out of the refrigerator and start shaping it and put it onto one of these flexible cutting boards. It is so easy to transfer your rolled pie dough from the flexible cutting board into the pie plate. Let's just check and see if I've got it large enough size-wise, and then just flip this over and look how easy this is. It just comes right off. It's lovely to have that. It's a great idea. Then pinch around the corners and make a decorative edging. Stretch it, make it fit. Just go around the edge and pinch the crust into place. This is important actually because you want the crust to have a grip on the upper edge of the pie plate, because as this bakes, it will shrink and it'll fall down off the edge. So pinching the pretty border has a functional purpose. With the border all pinched, I take a fork and puncture the bottom of the crust to let the air out, because there's air trapped underneath there, and as we heat it in the oven, it will bubble up. If you see this happening while it's baking, you can open the oven and just take a fork and puncture that bubble, because we want it to be flat in the bottom of the pie crust and not bubbly. Put it in the oven at 350 and bake it for about 10 minutes. Flaky pie crust traditionally has a lot of fat in it. It's the fat and the flour that create the flakes. And I haven't made this pie crust in years. And here I am trying to reduce the fat in it. Well, we'll see how that turns out. Pie crust is temperamental at the best of times, but it's always good to experiment. It's good to try and cut out the things that are unhealthy. So we'll see how it turns out. Because remember, when you make it yourself, you have total control over the fat, salt, and sugar. Is that good information? Give me a thumbs up below, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when another recipe is posted. After 10 minutes, it comes out of the oven, and set it aside to cool. You can see how the border was starting to sink in. Pour your cashews into the blender, and we have our cornstarch and water is chilled. You see it looks very jello-y almost, very much like pudding. To this, add half a teaspoon of salt, optional, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Take this to the blender and blend it for up to 6 minutes to make sure those cashews are smashed and smooth. Take 2 cups of vegan chocolate chips. You can melt them on the defrost, or if you have a melting button on your microwave to soften them up. We want them get them nicely melted. You can see these ones are starting to give. You give that a stir, put it back in, and I like to use defrost. That sort of helps it to melt evenly. See how nicely these melt? Once they are melted and smooth, put them into your high-speed blender, into the Vitamix. Other recipes say you should drizzle this through the top of the blender. I find that just makes an incredible mess. My Vitamix is powerful enough to mix it in before they cool, and there is no chunks. Look at how beautiful that is. It is very silky, which gives us this chocolate silk pie. Pour the ingredients from the blender into the pie crust and put it into the refrigerator. Let it chill for 4 hours or overnight.
Whoa, dude, chill out. No, you don't tell me what to chill. My mother tell me to chill. I sit here and draw people tell me to chill all the time. You don't tell me what to chill. I chill you.
Look at that chilled pie. Isn't that wonderful? And it is so nice and firm to the touch. I'm going to top it with some whipped cream. Well, this is actually the whipped cream cheese. You know, chocolate and whipped cream cheese is fabulous together. So check out the recipe card above or the description below for the link to the recipe for the whipped cream. Just spread it all over right to the edge, or you can top individual pieces. It's up to you. And we're going to slice it, and look at how nicely it comes out. That chocolate silk pie filling is beautifully firm. Oh, it's set up so nice. Oh, I can't wait to taste this. Let's have a taste. Chocolate silk pie. Oh, that whipped cream cheese is wonderful on there. The pie crust is a little bit doughy, as I suspected it would be, but maybe a crumb crust would be better another time. The structure holds very well for the pie. This is so good. Very, very good. Well, if you got some good information from this video, please leave me a comment in the below and click the subscribe button. Ring the bell so you know when the next recipe will be posted. And the next recipe is pepper jack mac and cheese. So while you're down there, ring the bell so you know when that's posted. Thank you for watching.